Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Zach?
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, Trevor. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Worked out a few technical details. A little reboot of the box, but looks like we're gearing up to get going. Looks like everybody's going to share the stream. So once we get live here, we're ready to roll.
All right.
Staying cool in all this heat.
Yeah, we're in school this week, and the classroom is very cool. Well, we're gonna be on the shop tomorrow, and it is hot out there.
Yeah, this good old heat is miserable if you got to be out in it.
What about you? You're still inside, aren't you?
I'm still inside. I'm maybe 50% on recouping off of my back. I did get to hit some balls yesterday, so that was exciting, but I didn't last very long. All right.
All right. I think we're good to go. It's like I don't want to say Dylan and Martine won the lag or the flip. I believe that's Martine breaking.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So 10 ball, looks like a little bit of a spot going on. Dylan and Martine are racing to 10, and David and Kyle are racing to 11 here at Legends Billiard Room in Beaverton, Oregon.
Looks like got one on the break. A little bit of a tough look at the two or one ball, but still cuttable. A little hard to control your cue ball here. Like the little inside, getting into the 9 ball was nice there. Able to kill some of that speed.
Yeah, not too much control. That's kind of all you can do there is run into that 9. I like how he played that. Same thing here. I mean, kind of got the 2 in the side, and you kind of got to play it. You can almost just try to check it off of this rail if you can squeeze behind there. Just trickle back up. Kind of like that shot.
Heavy. Still a little bit out of position here, but they keep having a thin look at the object ball. Keep pocketing and try and get into line where you get a little bit more control. Then in this 3 and kind of playing a piece of the 4 is going to be a part of it. A little bit more difficult to have a look at the 4 into an available pocket afterwards. Might be playing the 4 next in the same side pocket if he can clip it thin enough and the right speed. Just elects to play safe.
Smart play by Dylan. You know, first rack, you want to get that first win, get some confidence going into this match. So looks like David is coming to the table. And first, I believe David is 612. I think Kyle's a 604. David is a 610. So that's a pretty good team. Couple 600s playing together.
All right. Kind of difficult not to sell out some sort of a shot unless you play it at speed like this. That was a nice hit. If it holds up behind the 6, even better.
So not a makeable shot here. So we'll probably see another safety. We'll probably see him you can kind of spin that cue ball behind the 6.
Got to watch out for playing it a little too slow here and leaving the side pocket available. I like that play. Holds up good. Not a lockup safe, but containing. I like playing full into the 9 here and keeping the 3 there and kind of coming around 2 rails. Yeah. A little bit more speed there would have maybe gotten it back up on the other short rail and hiding behind the 8, but the pot could be on here. It's a tough shot for sure, but it is makeable. Touchy safe there.
Yeah, kind of close on that one. I think he got it. I don't think the 3 is potable from there.
It's one of those hard to rebuttal safes.
What are you doing here? How are you going to see how your banks are working? In the bottom right corner, early on in the match.
I don't know. With the kind of pressure of, having your teammate there watching and playing with you, trying to keep frustration low, you got to kind of balance out kicking underneath of it and seeing if you can chip the 3 up above the 9 and keep the cue underneath of it. But looks like he might be grabbing his jump cue here. It's
not a terrible shot. I mean, if he can jump this and kind of stick it where it's at. I mean, you have the 4 in the bottom left corner. It'll be another tough shot, but it's probably going to roll forward a little bit. And that 9's right there.
Yeah, if you're straight in and can just cinch up on the nice shot. Come out a little bit.
That was a really good shot there by David.
Getting a highlight jump already, real early on into the match. Ooh. Tiny bit overcut, but he may have not given anything up unless he goes rail first here. I don't think he has enough of the edge of that ball to pocket it. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to spin it. If he's going for the pot, he's going to have to spin that 5 in.
He's addressing it like he might see enough of it. Maybe a touch of inside and slow speed.
Yeah.
He had plenty of that ball. Camera angles can be deceiving. Touchy edges can be hard to see from our angles. You can miss the 9 here and kind of come back where the cue's hitting on the 3rd rail, somewhere over into here. It'll be perfect on the 8.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I think he can miss that 9 ball and just come 3 rails towards the 8. I mean, even if you is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Hitting that part of the rail. Yeah.
Yeah, if he can miss it and kind of be coming somewhere along this line in here. Not too bad. Little pressure tester here. It's not too difficult, but early round jitters, getting those out of the system. These kind of half ball hits with the out on the line early on can definitely get the heart race a pumping.
Yep, I like that shot, dragging it to the rail. You don't want to mess with that 10 ball where it's sitting.
Yeah. Nicely executed here. They're definitely favored to get out from here. Loading up with some left hand outside English. Ooh.
Yeah, see, that's tough there. I mean, there you just follow that ball in, come off the rail, come up table. I mean, even a little inside, you can check it. That's too much. He wanted to come 2 rails, right, and end up middle table, but he didn't need to do all that.
Touchy speed there. Those slow speeds like that can be. Few early round jitters getting out of the system here. Everybody kind of getting situated.
So it's looking like we're going to have an even race to 10.
Wasn't Dylan and Martin the one getting one on the wire? So isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's an 11-9 race. That's right.
Yeah. Wonder if they're going to have one person breaking consistently if they've got a good 10-ball break, or if they're going to switch it up. But, it looks like they may be doing an alternate break.
Looks like alternate break, rack for your opponent.
Gotcha. Big break there, got into him good. Doesn't look like anything's going to fall in for him, but definitely a tricky out here if you can play the carom off of the 8 into the side. Still pretty difficult to get into the 2 unless you're jacking up a little bit and playing a little bit of draw.
Yeah, I kind of like that shot here. Yeah, that's kind of what he's going to do. Slow down.
Yeah, those are tricky opening shot for sure.
A team coming out with a short stick. I wonder if he's gonna try to cut this ball on the side. I don't think it passes the 5 all the way down.
It may have slid past the 5 if it was at
he's
slower speeds, but not at a jump speed. I think it would rattle up even if hit perfectly.
I'm going off with a kick here.
I think you play this at the right speed and hit it decently. The 2 has a chance of going and or safe. Like that.
Yep.
Nicely done. Perfect speed on that. Just gave it a chance to go and having a look at the 3, but this is a pretty tough spot to be in right here. Almost look like you have to do a jump kick, jumping over the 4 and kicking over, and still difficult not to scratch or sell something out.
Sorry ahead of time if you hear my phone's set up right next to me with the YouTube chat. I might get a couple texts here and there.
That's a good point. I should pull that up myself so I can be seeing what folks are saying. Electing to go for the 210.
And he drills it. Not a terrible play. Got all the balls on the table. A couple balls close together. Straight in. Zach Hill says, I got next. Well, Trevor and I are waiting, so match up with us.
There we go. Patrick Nick saying all the cool people are here.
And after all these years, Sean Self says, I still like pool.
All right. Looks like Martin's back breaking. He had a nice break last time. Nice speed. Ooh.
Oh, and then look at where that 10 ball set up. I don't know if that 4 just got in the way, but one's a little close to the rail. But a possibility here for a 110 combo. I mean, they just did it to you. He's thinking about it. Yeah, he's going to take a look.
I kind of like
pretty open table. Otherwise, if you miss, the one's going to go down table towards the bottom left, and after that, I mean, the table is pretty open.
Yeah, I kind of like going for the run out here just because. But if he's got enough of the edge of the ball where even if he overcuts it, at the very least, it's going to leave it up on the or down on the lower short rail. Play a stop shot with that kind of speed in mind where the one ball can hide up.
Oh, 1-4-10 combo. All right.
That was pretty spectacular.
That's a highlight reel shot right there. I know you're working on something like that.
I am. So on our third game here, got another little triple combo.
Yeah, I went back to that match with, I think it was Kyle and Dizon, because Kyle was mentioning a bank shot on like the second rack or the third rack.
Yeah, it was a spectacular bank.
Yeah, that might be one you could add into there.
Yeah, for all y'all watching, I'm trying to create some highlight reels of things that we commentate with to kind of post up after the video happens. Get enough pool going on. There's definitely lots of nice shots. That was a nice break there. Pretty open layout. Nice look at the one. I like trying to play this right into the 4 ball. Let the 4 kind of hold up your ball speed. Hit onto the right-hand side of it's even better.
Yeah, if you hit onto that left-hand side, you'll trickle over. You'll still have a shot somewhere, but it could get away from you.
Yeah, that left-hand
side.
Hard
to control the speed here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. It was a beautiful shot.
Perfectly done.
See, now this is tight, right? You could come 2 rails and come out behind that 5 and just straight on that line of that 4 ball. It's kind of big angle to check. Hit it a little hard, but it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, cue ball's kind of traveling away from the 5 here. You may elect to play it into the 6 ball, the cue ball that is, and use it to kind of give yourself some sort of a shot on the 5. The 9-10 lays in a little bit of a precarious situation of if you play in the combo or worked out pretty well.
There's a couple of key balls here. You got to get on the 6 pretty well, but the 7 to the 9 is going to be not a huge issue. That's a good spot to be on that 6 ball. You need to get exactly where you want to be for the 7 to draw back and get in between the 10 and the 9.
I'm thinking falling forward to about 6 inches off of that short rail there and having a nice draw angle to get yourself into the... Oh, he's trying to break it out. This line here draws a little bit. I don't think you can get up underneath of the 9 and play it to the upper left corner, but looks like he might be electing to play the combo or setting up to play the combo. One of those situations where you turned your partner and says, well, I made the 7. Now it's your turn to do the job. It's no,
my ball.
Yeah, no easy task from here. Gotta hit this one perfectly.
I have an option opportunity. This is a 50-50 shot. I don't see them giving this ball back, especially with Dylan shooting. Yeah.
A little bit of a pressure shot, but it's also a free opportunity at a game that was already slipping away from you. So,
And I'll take that back because Martine would have taken that too.
Yeah.
Secret says that we should plug in Saturday and commentate her event.
Yeah.
She's doing a 560 and below 8-ball, $200 entry. I'm going to be camping in the Deschutes area. But I think we went last year. I think I had some self-service. So, I mean, it's not like out of the picture to bring my laptop out there. I have a hotspot. I can do some commentating out in the woods, you know?
Sounds like an interesting concept that would not be possible without Evo's technology. So, yeah, Secret W, just shoot either Dylan or myself or Zach a message, and we'll see if we can't work something out.
Yeah, I could probably plug in sometime during the day. Definitely.
Nice break there. Looks like he's looking at the 110 combo. Gosh, I hate playing these thin cuts where there's the racks involved. Psychologically, I'm just always questioning if it's going to affect the shot some way.
Yeah, rack did slide. You got to play it with the what rack mentality, you know?
Yeah.
There's not a rack there.
My brain is always in the way when there's a thought like that, so it's hard for me to just disregard it. It was a nice attempt for kind of a tough position. Nice speed here. It's a little bit on the underneath side of that line, but should be able to kind of slowly draw it and maybe take it in the bottom left corner before ball next. I think you can play this with just straight top, and nicely done there. Those are definitely a nervy shot when you have the side pocket looming. Just got to trust the line and execute the shot. Nicely done. Kind of a similar combination option here if he doesn't get in between that 10 and the...
Hit that one a little wide. It didn't end up terrible for them. Tough shot here for Martine. You know, minimal balls on the table. So minimal objects and targets to play safe behind.
I actually kind of like chipping off of the right-hand side real thin. Kind of coming back up near where the two chalks are now that he moved them, but that first diamond on the bottom rail, but looks like he might
to go the other way.
He may have been calling the 10 there, actually, with that speed in mind.
I don't know about this. Well, that's got a shot. That's got a shot. Very close call.
Yeah, it's tight pocket. That's for sure. Gotta miss the 9 and miss that first point. Gotta hit this really good to a difficult combo or even more difficult positional play. Ouch. Good effort there, though.
Valiant effort is what I was going to say.
Still not super easy out from here with that 8-10 laying like it does. I think if he hits like 3/4 of a ball and can kind of get the cue ball somewhere into this line would be the most ideal. Could play it with inside English too and come 2 rails at the...
I'm going for the combo. I don't know why I had this crazy shot in mind where you come off the rail, 1, 2, 3 rails, and come up on this bottom side of this 8. That's what I drove in my head.
Hey, that would have been a sweet line, that's for sure. This is a very difficult combo once again. Down the rail, lots of distance between the object ball and the combo ball. Don't think you want to play this too slow just because you don't want to just jaw up the 10 and goes for the carom. I like that choice though. You playing this with top or bottom English?
I'm going to play this with low outside. I like what he did there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with my low outside shots, those big cut shots like that. That's typically how I've been shooting them. I do need to shoot those a couple different ways. But I've been pretty consistent.
Needs to slow down a little bit. I think the bank is, yeah, definitely the shot here. It's hard not to play it short. Yeah. Played it at a good speed where 10 ball ends up in the center of that bottom rail. Definitely bank is on here. I think it's a 50-50 for Dylan to make this pot. Ouch. Good effort. Concedes the game. Yeah, speed on those banks like that are just everything. Like, I think just with a touch more speed, it would have shortened it up just a little bit, but touch more speed and then you're too short. It's... I think he missed that he conceded the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to play a lot of bank pool lately. Really work on my bank game. You know, all of a sudden, like these new types of banks pop up. Really, really fun game.
It is a great game. It teaches you a lot of availabilities for 2 rail banks and different things that are kind of the little bit more intricate parts of the game that do come up sometimes in standard play where you can play a 2-way and let a 2-railer or a 3-railer rip.
Travis wants to know if it's winner's break. Travis, I believe we are seeing alternate break opponent racks, but I will try to pay attention these next couple racks.
Four ball down. Nice wide open layout here. A little bit of a difficult positional play on the opening shot. Stepped into that one pretty quick, but doesn't look like he sold anything out. Dylan taking a look at it to see if he can get it to play past the 8.
Yeah, I don't think this ball has any pockets. He really wanted to. Let's see what this line looks like. Coming straight through. He might be able to hold it for the bank and have a nice shot on the 2-ball. Might be able to sneak past that 2-ball for the top right corner.
Yeah, you got to play that with quite a bit of speed to shorten it up, right? But yeah, kind of a difficult decision here. He may be. I'm not really seeing a super straightforward safety.
I think he's looking at the bank, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah, you got to play that
Nuts.
mock speed.
Going for a safe here. Try to sneak up behind that 2-ball.
Pretty well done. I think it might squeak by there. Might have to go rail first.
Yeah.
That was a tough safe to play. Very. Is Mass saying it? Yeah. 7 gonna clear. I don't think it gave up the right hand or left hand side of that pocket. Pocket the ball. Go.
That stays up. I like it.
Yeah, that was. That kind of shot comes up a lot in one pocket. Played it at a good line and speed. You got to play this with some speed to shorten it up just a tiny bit. Yeah. Nice hit. Oh, I thought it was getting kicked in the side for a second, but went from almost an unfortunate roll to a fortunate roll.
All right, Trevor. Well, I got to jump out of here. It's great commentating with you, man.
Sounds good. We'll catch you on the next time.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Enjoy.
All right. Thank you. Guys are playing some good combative kick safety game going on here. Not giving much up, but making good hits on the ball. Yeah, he may. Ideally, he'd like to be able to kick the short direction and be able to go for the pot, but those angles are a little bit harder to visualize. I think this way he's got to masse a little bit or throw into it lightly. Good hit. Just even if the pot's on, it's difficult to hold the cue ball up for the 3-ball there. So, oh, he's playing the carom into the 10. Curious if he plays the slower safe and just rolls up onto the 7-6, or if he goes for the pot. Looks like he may have been a little bit in between his options there. Or maybe he was just going directly for the pot. Still not really selling up an open pocket for the 2. I kind of like playing the bank, but looks like he's going for the either the combo or the carom on the 10-ball here. Nice shot. Wow. Another highlight potential there. Play play a safety while playing the blue cheese. All right, looks like Martin back to break here. Oh no! Oh. Difficult to tell if that one ball can slide underneath the one. Looks like Dylan's looking at it closely here. Definitely not an easy open shot, but it does kind of lend to natural shape if played at a medium slow speed. Makes the pot a little more difficult playing it that slow. I like that he played a little outside left right hand English to kill it off of that first rail. Aaron and the Wilson in the chat saying nice shot, David. Assume on that last 2-10 combo, that was a very nice shot. Nice little touchy speed shot draw over to the long rail near on the 4. Come off a little bit for a good line. Yeah, those are touchy. Fortunate got tree topped on the 8 ball there as well. Hold up. Lots of these little back cuts at slower speed to get online. Yeah, they no hangers, that's for sure. Bit of inside English come around 2 rails. Get away from that 8 ball. Pretty unfortunate roll there. It's on a good line, just a little close to the 8 ball where you got to elevate up and cuts down your pocketing percentage because of the touchiness involved with being tree topped. See how he handles it. Nicely done. Good speed. Just got there. Dylan checking out the scratch line. Make sure he doesn't put too much draw on this. Difficult ball to hold up. Be on the right side of the 8 there. Kind of left him on the 50-yard line. Might be playing this with a little bit of bottom right and drawing around 3 rails. Just want to miss the 10 ball here. Look at this shot. Stay away from that corner pocket. Of course, it ends up dead straight on the rail, but it was a fantastic shot. Difficult to tell if that 9 ball's frozen on the rail as well, because may have to just take your medicine here and take some distance. Dylan trying to see if he can make an angle out of this, but yeah, it looks like he's just leaving him long. After that last shot, says you got one more in you. Nicely done. Nice recovery shots from Martin there. Dylan's feeling good that he has a partner he can rely on in that type of situation, because that is a low percentage shot being on the rail shooting that long, but he handled it nicely. All right. Up to break. A little slower speed, but good looking break there. A little cluster in the center of the table, but he hit those very well. Nice speed to have a look on the one. Went rail first there to get up table. Nice, lovely bump on the 9. I think he's got to play into the 4 ball here and kind of create a shot out of this. Gonna be a little thin. Might have to play the bank. Curious to see which direction he goes. The bank's pretty available, but the thin cut just depends on whichever you're more comfortable with. Nice cut. Gets a little flick off of the 5. Might actually work out to where he thins that and gets into the 10. Ooh. Might have got away with one there. Martin with the short cue in hand. Jumping it at that top left corner pocket, has kind of a two-way built in, creates distance if it doesn't go. Gives you shape if it does. Got over it, made good contact, but sometimes a double kiss just doesn't work out. Nice speed, give a little bit of an angle to get back across table, because you want to be good on the 7 ball to be able to get access onto the 9. Maybe electing to play touch inside and kind of playing along this line here. Go to the short side of the 9. A little bit overstruck, but easy, safe options, or you can play for the bank. Needs to get to the rail. Ouch. An eighth of an inch away from a lock-up safety. Little fist bump between Dylan and Martin there. Capitalizing on opportunities. Pretty unfortunate that didn't get to the rail. That was hit well where it was blocking the long rail kick attempt, but didn't quite get there. Terry Anderson in the chat asked if there is 2 matches that I'm not sure of. Money matches like this, if they feel like running it back afterwards, that'll be kind of determined generally after the match is made up, but I'm only aware of the 1 match being set up so far. If you can play the 2 between the 6 and the 7 and kind of roll up onto the 7, I like that safety option. Might be a little bit too much of a cut where it creeps down below the 7. Not going to get a rail there. Much needed opportunity for David and Kyle here to get onto the board. Pretty wide open rack. Probably elect to play this one with high inside and kind of come off of this second rail into like this line into here would be ideal. Or you just draw straight out. Difficult decision here if you want to go for the pot or play safe. Safety is almost as difficult as making the pot, so he may elect to just cut it in. Looks like he may have enough of the 4 ball here to be able to cut it in, but it is a tough shot to make and avoid the 9 to get back up in close proximity of the 6. You can come up on the thin hit on the 9, you might be able to track back up table for the 6 ball, but a lot of distance. Hard to... Wow. Get away from there. Oh, heartbreaker. A great shot. Misses the 9. Ouch. Martin showing off some true shooting, taking on some difficult shots and hitting them very well. That was a pretty unfortunate roll there, but gives David and Kyle an opportunity to capitalize. Looks like we might have Patrick Nix jumping in with us.
Yes, I'm here to help do some co-commentary with you. Talked to Zach. Apologies that Zach had to jump out. He had something that came up that he had to tend to. So I'll fill in for the remainder of the match here.
Oh, I appreciate it because talking to myself is more difficult than it appears. That is for sure.
Yeah,
So
it's
glad to have you.
not quite as fun commentating just by yourself as opposed to having one other person to kind of bounce things off of. But what have we got going here? We've got a 5-3 race now so far. Now Dylan and Martin have to go to 10. Is that right? And David and Kyle go to 11.
I do believe so. Ooh, he catches the point to hold up there. Yeah, David and Kyle making a few late game mistakes here is why the score deficit that we're seeing. Martin's really come with some come with it shots.
That's a nice 10 ball there.
Nice 10 ball there indeed.
So Dylan and Martin piling on the games, and they're the ones that are getting the handicap weight. So
yeah, and it's only one game, but like if you don't make up that spot early on, and that one game starts to add the pressure as well as being down in a set. See if David and Kyle can collect themselves and stop the bleeding and get back on the horse, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm sure they can. Bar box 10 ball. It only takes a couple opportunities, and you can get something really put together quickly.
Yeah, David made a really nice 2-10 carom shot earlier on. Wow, what a break. He really got into those well. What did he make? 4 balls on the break?
And this is David here, right? David Scarth up at the table.
I maybe we can get the chat to help us out there. I'm not familiar with David or Kyle.
Okay.
I was going off of someone's response to the shot on the 2-10, so I could be mistaken. And I apologize for that. Ouch. Yeah, they're just don't think that there's enough of that ball to go for the pot. Looks like he's going for the short cue to jump over the edge.
All right. So Aaron said that was Kyle that was at the table.
Yeah, I believe this is David who is doing the jump shot here now. Travel and meet lots of people, but don't know everybody, so I apologize for that misunderstanding. I wonder if he's playing the bank here.
Ooh, boy. I don't know how that cue ball did not scratch. Was he saying that he nicked a piece of the 10 ball there? He was looking at a point of the 10, but maybe hit it with his cue.
Maybe a little nudge.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to have shape on the 5 here for anything, because when the cue ball doesn't scratch and it just sits in the pocket, 9 times out of 10, you don't really have much of a shot.
Yeah, I kind of like just playing this with top and playing the cue into the 9 to kind of slow up its speed because.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would kind of push into it a little firm just to make sure you don't get stuck behind the 7. Because anywhere on the table besides behind the 7, if you're coming into the 9, is going to be fine for your shape on the 6.
Yeah, if you play it with draw, it's a little bit more difficult on the pot because you're having to elevate up.
Yeah, but being in the pocket, yeah, you're right. That did add some complexity to it, and that's going to hold up for a back cut to that corner.
Plays a nice speed there. Should be able to cheat the pocket to the right-hand side from his perspective. And
okay, So this is David at the table. We got the confirmation. Kyle's in white. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
And thank you for the compliment, Terry Anderson. Really appreciate that. It's all about the players, though. It's not about the cameras. It's about the players. These guys are the ones making it fun. It's a good straight shot.
Much needed opportunity to bring it to 4-6 here. Yeah, because a game deficit with alternating breaks and giving up weight, that pressure does seem to mount to bring out the urgency to get on the board, but nicely handled opportunities there.
Yeah, they took care of their break. They had the break on that one and ended up winning the rack. So always important that you win your breaks, even if it's not a break and run.
Cue ball getting kind of kicked everywhere. Where's it going to end up?
Yeah, one ball down, and the two ball, he's got to look at it, but I think a safety is coming, and it should be pretty straightforward to come off of this two ball and, get yourself buried in this mix, because you can use the 3 as a potential blocker as well in case you don't get hooked on the 5 or 7. You should be able to come off with a good safety here most times.
As long as the 2 ball clears the 3.
It didn't. Yeah, that's exactly right. The 2 ball had to clear the 3, and he hit just too thick of a piece of that ball, probably wanting to bring the cue ball around the other side of the 5, but I would have focused more on just getting that 2 ball around the 3, because that was the key there.
Curious to see if he takes on the pot here. Nicely done.
Yeah, I like this. Chance for David and Kyle to get really something rolling.
I think if you can feel confident to come across the 5, 7, and the 5 and kind of come 2 rails back out near where he's at. Oh. Just elected the play safe there. Not a bad play with the way the 7 and the 5 were laying. You had to get really good on that 4 ball to give yourself a chance at the out.
Agreed. Though, not too bad really, because the 4 plays here, and then anywhere down here is fine position for the 5, right? So it doesn't lay too bad as long as you get good on the 4. But right now he's just about not giving up ball in hand, and there goes the ball in hand. So the safety worked out, paid dividends.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal after playing a good safety is to get ball in hand, and that's what they got. The maximum reward.
Yeah. How do you like playing it from here?
Well, now that 6 ball is there, it changes things, doesn't it? A little bit.
Just a tiny bit. I think just stopping it here and stunning down near the 6. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, just a little angle there. That's nice, because that just allows for the nice, easy stun shot. And you don't have to get perfect on the 5, because the 6 is playable from anywhere. So that's kind of a nice, comfortable place to be.
Got to let your cue ball go a little bit here.
Yeah. You might have to watch the scratch down here, down here in the bottom left corner if you hit too hard. So it could come off that 9. Not sure of the angle exactly, but certainly have to be aware of it. But you might be able to slow roll this to where it doesn't go that far. He's good.
Nicely done.
Yeah, avoided the contact, and now
It was
it's
a
connected
delicate
up.
line.
Yeah, it really was. He went in between
Ooh.
the 9 and the side pocket. So giving his partner a steep angle. So Kyle got a little bit too much into that.
Yeah, a little bit too much stroke and a little too thin of a hit. Kind of got away from him a little bit. Still cuttable, but it's you kind of have to flick this one in with outside and kind of come back down near the bottom left corner pocket if you're going for the out. But I'm thinking he's going to elect to play safe here. Kind of was going for the two-way, but it looks like it's going to sell out a cut. Yeah, if you're familiar with the clock system, this is a pretty nice line to come up underneath of the 9 and come off of that second rail right out there for the 8 ball, but he might elect to slow roll it.
He got a real thin piece of it, and that's going to sell out.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I believe Kyle's going to be up next. Yep.
But it's like you said, just a couple opportunities, and the score can change quickly.
Yep. And this is Kyle. That was Kyle Seltman. He played a match at Jammers, an action match down there against Dizen.
Yeah.
I think you commentated that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And so I watched some of that, so I saw some of his game there. And then this gentleman, David Scarth, I've seen him play on Friday Night Lights, I think, which is a live stream up here in the Bremerton, Washington area. I think he traveled up here to play a match. I can't remember exactly who he played against, but a while back. So I've seen both of these players' games.
Yeah, now that you're reminding me of him playing, I think it's Dizon or Dizon. Yeah, Kyle's got a pretty quick rhythm to his play. Plays a little bit free form and plays very naturally. But we're getting close to having a race here. They're still technically down 2 games with the spot, but it's much closer than it was just a minute ago.
Yep. Dylan and Martin need 4 to win the set, and David and Kyle need 6.
Yeah, I always like when I'm giving up weight or having weight given to me to not put the game on the wire, just because when you're doing an alternating break, it makes it much easier to tell whose break it is. But they seem to be working it out with no issues. It's always a common question of whose break is it? Nice
Right.
there.
Yep, got the 4 ball in on the break and the side, and Kyle to look at this 1. I don't know if he's got a whole lot here.
Yeah, he might be playing safe just because the 2-3 lays.
Yeah, that was kind of quick. That was a little touchy of a safety. You had to make sure that thing stayed behind the 6. And he kind of got a little quick on that. I liked either that shot or trying to come up into this area here behind those 2 and just hitting it a little harder. If he hits that same shot a little bit harder, he gets that cue ball to travel in that direction, bringing the 1 up a little further, which is kind of what I was looking at if he was playing safe. He kind of went halfway in between those and gives up an opportunity.
Yeah, Dylan may be able to thin into the 2 and the 3 here and kind of break that out. A little question mark is if he's going to have a shot afterwards. Got to get into him just right.
Yeah, just a little off the mark.
Got the breakout, just got a little focused on that particular line.
Yeah. And although David has a shot at this one, it's really touchy. It looks like you can come off this 6 and end up scratching in that corner from this angle. Yeah, I think that was in his mind when he's shooting that. You see, he did come off the 6, just a real thin piece of it, but he ended up missing the shot. So I think that was in his mind, was that scratch possibility.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Combo looks like it may lend itself to be pretty wired here. Yeah.
Yeah, and leaving a bank for his partner, Dylan. And are you going to take on this bank, Trevor, or are you going to play safe somehow?
I think I'd like to thin off the left-hand side of it and kind of play 3 rails back over behind the 9 and leave the 1 ball up by
the 2.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I like that. And he's going all out for the bank. Ends up getting a safety out of it. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know if you're telling me that you'd play the safety over the bank, then that's probably the right play because you're a pretty good banker. So.
And it wasn't that the bank wasn't on. It was just more of the question mark is if you're hitting the 2 or the 3 there to have a look. But he played a good 2-way, got through him, and didn't give up anything. Gets another opportunity for his partner here at the table to play a lockup safe. I think rolling straight through this and just placing the cue right on the 7. A very touchy speed shot. It looks like he may be looking at the carom into the 10 though too. Yeah. Pretty sure he was playing the carom there. Yeah. Good effort, but that's got to hit that shot very well to get that 10 to go. It's a very small pocket from that angle. Oh, little overcut. Oh.
And he got fortunate. Another fortunate roll, I'll say. And Dylan got a little cheated here. You always think, when your opponent misses a shot, you want a good opportunity. Sometimes they miss, and it just ends up with a really lucky roll. Unless he was trying to get there, but I don't think he was. Looked like he was trying to make the shot.
I'm just trying to visualize this line. I don't even think this kick is available.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, to miss the side pocket coming 2 rails at the 1. Yeah. I don't think it's available at all. Not from that angle. I think that what might be available here is potentially. Let's see. What do you think?
Oof. Yeah, it looks like he is going to try and maybe tie something up here.
Yeah, he's just given up an intentional ball in hand. I'm not sure what the goal was there. I would have taken a stab at that 1 ball, just because it's right by the pocket, even though it's likely that you're giving up ball in hand, unless you can guarantee tied something up.
Yeah.
I don't like giving up ball in hand with an open table at any time against any player, but especially not these two who are really starting to heat up right now.
Yeah. He tried making this 2 to the 3 a little bit difficult with the 9-10, hoping that he can make it tough enough to make it where they don't have a look, but looks like he handles it well. Found that window. I like playing this with straight top. Yep, perfect. Uh-oh, watch outside pocket. Oof.
Wow, that was close.
That was close. But got onto it well, and
these guys are taking advantage of some of the mistakes from Dylan and Martin, and we're going to have essentially what is a tied score. This will be what, 3 in a row or 4 in a row, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was 6-3. So yeah, this will be 3 in a row. Watch out. That's all right. That's all right.
Yep, it was good. All right, we got action.
We do have action. They got one more game to make up for the spot, but 6-6 is looking a whole lot better than 6-3 where they were at a moment ago.
Nice. All right, we got Chad Raswick in the chat, chilling in North Bend, playing on his 9-foot diamond with Taryn, playing some 10 ball and watching on the big screen. Love it. What's up, Chad? You got to get out there. He just got a new 9-foot diamond. I really want to. It's pretty nice. He showed me pictures. Pretty nice setup he's got over there.
Sweet. Out of the pocket here. Pretty natural angle to kind of just stun up for the 3.
Yeah.
Got to elevate up just a little bit. That's why he's kind of thinking about running into the 8.
Yeah, I agree with that. Very fortunate to not scratch and have a shot at the 1, right? The way that cue ball was tracking, it was looking pretty dire, but it ended up being a really good setup after the break. Just need to take care of that 1 ball and get down to the 3, which he got down to the 3, but he forgot the first half of that equation.
Yeah, being elevated like that definitely cuts down the accuracy and didn't really give up anything here. I mean, you got a slow kick into this and try and get the 8 involved to where you can maybe get some coverage.
Yep. I like that. You wanted a little more separation out of it, but yeah, there wasn't much to do there, but making sure you get a good hit, and he did that.
Yeah, if the 3 ball can play into this pocket, which it looks like it might clear.
It does, yep.
He might be able to stun straight over into this area, but you're kind of coming across your line, and those little slow stun shots like that can undercut the ball very easily with the amount of throw that's involved.
Oh, those are the hardest, yeah, to judge the speed too. I think I like trying to run into the, this works too. Just get underneath the 3. And that way you can let your stroke out a little bit, and looks really good. Stop shot here for the 3 in the side. Come back maybe a little bit. If you have an angle, you can use the 10 to bump your way out. But you got the 4 in the side, and that leads to the 5 nicely. So that was a great shot. Okay. You like going forward?
May have landed a little straight here. Don't really care to cheat the pocket when you're shooting at this angle into the side. You just don't have a lot of pocket to play, so he may just, if he is dead straight, just roll forward a couple inches and take what's available on the 5. Really liking what I'm seeing from Martin's game here. He's taking on some pretty difficult shots, playing some good lines, and just seems very calm and collected at the table too. Down the 50-yard line here.
Yeah, Martin is the lower of the 2 in Fargo rate, coming in at a 568. I always find that players that are in the 550 range, they always have the tendency to surprise people the most of how well they can play, because I think in the mid 500s, you have the skills to be very good. It's just not as consistent as somebody in the 600s, right? And so you end up surprising people a lot of the times.
I agree. It's one of those, just a consistency level. That's a nice shot from Dylan there to pull out and get on a good line to keep enough angle to get back up table. Great line there.
Yep, you can't ask for any better on the 10 ball. And what he got there. So Dylan and Martin extend the lead. Take the lead, I should say. And only 3 away from the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's just too hot outside to be outside. This is we say pool is a winter sport, but when it's 100 degrees, it's you want to be inside. Well, if there's air conditioning anyway. I think at Legends though it might be a little warm. Sometimes they got those gigantic fans in there that are like industrial grade that do kind of cool you down a little bit, but it can get a bit warm in there.
It's a big space. There's lots of tables and it's a great venue. It's in this kind of heat, any space is difficult to keep as cool as you'd like it to be.
Yeah, for sure. And the temperature is always 10 to 15 degrees warmer when you're in competition, just because it really is. It feels hotter, so you're literally sweating it. So a ball in on the break.
Ooh, that 3-6 kind of falls into a. It might go into the side pocket on the right side, but I don't think so. It looks like they nuzzled up pretty close together there.
Yeah. Is he going to take on? Oh, I was going to say, I wondered if he was going to take on the bank shot there, but he ended up trying to back cut that, which is going to really let the cue ball go, and it did, and it banged into the 3-6 that you were talking about, and now we've got a four ball problem. This 4 ball here is not very accessible. I need to change my color here. Hold on a second. I don't like my pen color. It just doesn't show up very well.
Yeah. Dylan kind of analyzing out the table to see what's available here. Looked like he was kind of looking at the line to get on the 4 ball to play a safe once they get that far. Ooh. Cue ball goes a little long on him, unless he was playing to set up for the bank, but I don't think so.
All right, I had to leave and come back, so I get my white colored pen. That's I like the white. It shows up better.
Yeah, this one you got to play at a pretty good pace to shorten it up to avoid the double kiss. Oh, I was mistaken.
Yeah, Martin is really he's pulling out some good shots.
Yeah, he's not making very many mistakes, that is for sure, and not in very easy predicaments either.
Yep, I knew this was coming. With as tough as that 4 ball was, this was definitely coming. He's a little frustrated that he gave up the 1 rail kick to the 3 because he really wanted to be locked right behind that 10, and it just came out a little bit too far.
Yeah, if you can kick the 3 along this line, the cue ball kind of naturally will want to kind of come back along this way, back by the 9 and 10, and give you some distance and potentially some coverage. But he may be massing it into that line.
Yeah, he's kicking. Yeah, he's kicking the 3 into the pocket. The problem is that if you make it, you're not going to have much on the 4. Is he kicking or jumping? He's going to jump bank this. Okay. Well, with the jump bank, jump kick. I think he was trying to jump bank it, and I think if you did jump bank it, you had a possibility to come down to the 4 ball. But yeah, I think the best thing that could have happened there is not making the ball. I think making it would have put you in a worse spot. Now the pressure is back on Dylan, David, and Dylan and Martin.
Do you elect to go for the pot here and try and get into a position to play safe, or just play safe from here?
I would prefer to play safe. I have no problem playing safe, even when I have an open shot. If the percentage chance of me landing good on the next ball is below, 20% or something, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
What's your line showing here?
I kind of like playing the bank on the 3 along this line and kind of coming up into potentially.
Okay, like a two-way.
Yeah. He had something similar in mind, just creating distance.
Yeah. Neither one of them wants anything to do with this getting shape on the 4-ball problem. So we might even see another safety coming up here from Kyle.
Might be able to play the bank long. Something like this line here. If you can come into the top side of the 4, you just got to be worried about making the 4-ball. I like to try and solve my issues.
Right. It's like if you're gonna he solved the 4-ball problem.
Solve the 4-ball problem. Unfortunately, and giving up a look.
Yeah, good look here. It gets you right to the 5, and it's just a 5 to the 6 that's your challenge. But not that it's.
I kind of like stop shot or as close to it as possible here, just to simplify the stroke you got to put on the 3-ball and just really bear down on pocketing this ball.
Yeah, it's either the stun here or the slow roll. Those are your choices, either slow roll or stun. And I like the stun shot like he did. Just rattled that pocket like it does sometimes when you put a little extra on it.
Still didn't really sell anything easy out. Probably going to play the combo here at a slow speed. Try and hold up for the 3.
Yeah, I think so. Yep, just came into that 5 too thin. And another opportunity. For Mr. Martin Chavez, sporting the flip-flops. he's ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see how smooth and confident stroke is here. Just trust the line, kind of smooth it in, and end up down by the 9, I would assume. I don't think you want to jack up just to.
Yeah, you like a slow roll? I think so too. Yeah, just roll that puppy down there and drop it in the hole.
Oof.
Doesn't quite get there, but still, it's a 1-rail kick to the long rail, right?
Yeah.
And, not too difficult to make, but you do have to make sure that you don't get your cue ball stuck back there. So you have to hit it with enough pace to get out, and he did just enough.
Nice shot there.
Yeah, just enough. But you kind of knew if it comes into it like that, you're going to come into the backside of the 6, and if you don't hit it hard enough, you're going to be stuck in traffic. So I think you recognize that. So that was a good kick from Kyle. Getting out of trouble. Go 3 rails here. And a little overcooked, but he might work out. Yeah, it did work out. I don't know if he was trying for that window, honestly.
It was a love bump, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a small window to get to. It was ideal position, don't get me wrong. And if he tried for it and got it, I give him all the credit in the world. But I imagine that he might have been trying to hold it up a little bit sooner than that on the other side of the 9. But at any rate, they're in great shape now to close out this rack and extend the lead to 8-6.
This is David and Kyle at the table, so it'll be 7-7 here.
Thank you. This is why 2 commentators is better than 1.
Yeah, for sure. So if you get confused, somebody can quickly make the correction where you're not waiting on the chat to jump in. Not that that's a problem either, but
yep. No, this is even better though, because I like a close match. I want to see hill, as everybody does, except for the players who are at the table. Everybody loves it when all the money comes down to 1 rack. But right now it's a straight up race to 3/4, right? I mean, it's Now that one game of weight is massive, right?
Yeah, once it gets down to the nitty gritty in that one game,
I mean,
definitely plays a big factor into it the closer and closer it gets to the finish line.
yeah, because I mean, in the beginning, in a race to 11, one game doesn't mean a whole lot, but when it's a race to 3 or 4, a one game of weight, I hate to give up one game of weight in a race to 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at the percentage of it, a race to 4, that's giving up 25% of the overall race. But when you're going to 11, now you're looking at like 9.7% or whatever it is. So big difference in the percentages when you're having shorter races with weight compared to long races.
Now, did you have to use a calculator for that?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
I'm not. Now I'm going to kind of my math.
All right. Thank you, Kickin' Billiards, Colin Shield. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching. So did he call the bank on the one? I thought he pointed to the other pocket, but I can't imagine that's what he was looking for here. Yeah, he did. Oh, I see, to get to shape on the 3. So he was playing kind of a two-way bank to come down and get action on the 3. And it might have backfired on him because he probably figured if he can get the cue ball down to this area, he wouldn't be leaving a shot if he missed. But I think there is a shot here.
Yeah, it looks like the window is available. And to correct my math, it's 9.9 or 0.9% one game in 11. So
oh, nice shot. So he had to jump over a little piece of that.
oh, nice jump draw though. I mean,
yeah, very good. It didn't work out for him, but it's a heck of a shot. He had to jump over just a little piece of that 7. Sometimes I find those jump shots easier to do with my break cue.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say underneath of a 1/4 inch of a ball, anything at speed and distance, yeah, your jump with your break's going to be the much preferred method.
And Kyle coming right to this and saying, I'm just going to kick at it. He's nothing to really look at there. Uh-oh. Oh, he got corner hooked. That was the dream roll right there.
Wow.
That is the dream roll. When you can roll the cue ball to not scratch in the side and it just hangs there, it's almost always going to result in something good for you on your next turn at the table. But let's see what Martin can come up with here. But he's totally hooked behind that point. And I'm looking at 2 rails as well. He's doing the parallel shift here. I like the parallel shift technique. I use it all the time for those 2 rails.
Yeah. Interesting little fact. If you slightly adjust that angle, like if he wants to hit on the low side of this ball, when you're drawing this line for your parallel here, if you shift that just a little bit this direction, it'll give you the underneath side of the ball or the overneath side of the ball. It's a very, very minute shift, but see if you can get underneath of it. He hit directly in the face of it. Might still work out good. Doesn't give up anything but maybe a jump. Nice solid hit. Yeah, I'm really enjoying watching Martin play. Like he's executing shots well, just staying calm and collected, has a good rhythm. Does he have the edge of the ball here? Looks like he's kind of dressing it like he does. Ooh, yeah. Didn't quite get the hook then, so fortunate roll pays off for David and Kyle, giving them an opportunity to...
I'll be right back. Just 1 second.
No problem. Test the speed control here. Oh, a little overcut. Wants to get back out the center table. Leaves a little bit of an angle on this where he's got to decide if he wants to slow roll it, which I think gets you underneath of the 7. kind of a medium speed to run full into the 7, get some separation there. Beautiful line. A little bit of distance, but avoids collisions and gives them an opportunity to get good on the 7. It's rolling forward here. Nicely done. Good shape for pretty straightforward out here. That angle, I think he's likely to draw it back out to play the 9 in the same pocket. Just like that. A little bit wide on the angle. Might have to come 2 rails to get shape on the 10. I prefer that over slow rolling it for sure. I think he realized that and wanted to get an accurate hit so he can put a good stroke on it and miss that long rail.
All right, I'm back. Oh, beautiful shot from Martin.
Very nice.
And I missed most of that rack, but I saw the last couple shots. Pretty nice to get out.
Yep, Martin made a nice couple of shots to get him in the position to get that game. Dylan also did a nice slow roll forward, kind of trusting the mechanics on that stroke can be a little bit difficult, but it was a nice strong out, puts them within 2. Because if you look at it from here, it's a 2-4 race. You just need to get 1 game per 2 of David and Kyle from Dylan and Martin's perspective, or if you're from David and Kyle's perspective, you got to get.
Yep.
You got to break twice.
Yep. You got to beat them 2-1.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do, an alternate break, especially as good as Dylan and Martin have been playing. All right, what do we have here after the break? Dry break. That 2 ball did not find gravity, and this one looks easy to get started. Looks like they're going to get some assistance to perform the always fun rackectomy.
Man, I have not been able to get that comment you had mentioned when we were commentating a match here recently about high-level pool players when they're playing big money matches or into the finals just to be cutting the rack. The last 2 times that I've had to deal with the rack, I've definitely thought about, oh yeah, you could just cut.
I don't think he wanted to pocket the 2. He definitely didn't. So that's kind of an error there, we'll see. If I was doing the AccuStats, I might give a positional error for that one, because he definitely didn't want to pocket the 2. What do you have going?
I think just thinning this real slow speed to try and get, that would be ideal to be behind the 10, but even if you don't get behind the 10, you're not selling out an easy shot from there in a difficult position to play safe from.
Yeah, shout out to Martin Chavez with the one-handed rackectomy. Pulling that out with one hand. He got right on your line too, but overran it by a hair. That was the risk of that safety, was overrunning the 10 ball, right?
Yeah.
Because you know the 3 ball is going to be available, and I think it's got a clean pocket here, but the nice part is that 4 is just unavailable from anywhere but bottom side of the table.
Yeah.
And you playing a safety here on the 3, even if you can see it, maybe try to get behind the 8, possibly the cue ball.
Looks like he was going for.
Yeah, he geared up. He was going for around the world position.
Yeah, it's still a little bit of a cluster. I think everything goes on the 5, 6, 7 there. Just difficult to get position from the 4 to the 3, and you got to continue with this 3 ball here first. Might have liked to play safe from here. Kind of sticking it up on the short rail.
Okay. And that's going to be option.
I think that was actually the intended pocket.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Just
wasn't the intended process to get to the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, task failed correctly is what I like to call those shots.
Yeah.
He's definitely made some of these tough shots here before. Cutting into it's going to open up those balls. This is definitely the game on the line.
Yeah.
You'll let you go for the cut here, and you're not guaranteed a look, but
there's a potential huge reward if you make this shot.
Exactly. And I think the safety here is pretty difficult to be successful at. Wow.
And I can't believe he actually avoided coming into the 5 ball there.
Yeah.
That did not work out at all. Wow.
To quote Sheldon the Buff there, nice aim, because he definitely pocketed the ball very well. Just did not get very fortunate with the interaction with those 3 balls.
Yeah, that draw just grabbed right before it got to the 5 ball and pulled it away from it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked just using center ball on that last shot and coming into it and just kind of, rolling the dice a little bit that you're going to get some shape. But this is going to bode really well for Kyle and David. I think the back cut on the 5 gets you down to about where the 7 ball is. Yep. Yeah, nicely done.
Nice positional play there. Kind of split the upright, so to speak, getting in between those and getting good.
And here the pitfall to avoid, if you will, is getting behind the 9 or coming into the 9. You want to avoid that, but then you also have to watch the 10
and the scratch line
and the scratch. There was a lot of pitfalls to avoid, even though there was only 2 balls in the way. You're bringing the cue ball in this direction, right? So you got to either come into this window here or get past it and not scratch and be in this window here.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to kind of get into the long rail and kind of come back out, but unfortunately on the one line where there's a pocket at the end of it. And
yeah, that was more complicated than it looked.
Yeah. Dylan and Martin looking to get on the hill with this 10 ball here.
And they are on the hill. 9-7. David and Kyle have to win 4 straight.
Yeah, I think with some of the little unforced errors and odd rolls that there is a chance that David and Kyle, if they end up not being able to make the comeback in the set, seeing the night is young, how about we run this back? But that'll be up for them to decide when they get there.
Yeah, they might run it back, and I don't know if I wasn't really signed up for more commentating after this tonight, so I probably won't be able to do any commentary if they do run it back, but you're welcome to, Trevor.
We'll see what happens. Looks like they're taking a little break here. I think if David and Kyle are taking the break, that's a good time to go splash some water on the face. And
That's right. Yeah, I'll be back as well. I'm going to take my break. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, Cindy in the chat saying that's gonna hurt, and it definitely does, having just a couple balls left on the table. Those in-game unforced errors They tend to cost us matches time and time again. Got a great turnout within the chat. Looks like we got about 75 people viewing right now. Everybody trying to stay in out of the heat. I think while they're taking a little break, I think I'm going to run to the restroom myself. I'll be right back.
All right, looks like we're back in action off the break. Martin Chavez. Break the balls, avoids the scratch. And the 2-ball finds its home. Does he have shape on the 1? I am not sure. I think he might have a piece of it, but maybe not. That's pretty. Yeah, he might be able to see the right side of that 1 ball. And if he can, that would be huge because that would allow him to bring that cue ball out of trouble and play a good safety. If he can't see the edge of it, it's might be a push out.
Yeah, I kind of actually like pushing out down over by the 4 ball.
So he's pushing to a jump shot.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. So, and his partner, Martin, well, now, does Scotch, does it go back to the original, the person who pushed out? No,
unless the rules specify, it usually
going
goes
to Martin.
to partner.
Okay, it's going to his partner. So maybe Martin told him, don't, go ahead and give me a jump shot. I'm good with jump cue. But that's trust in your partner's ability to jump, to push to that area because you're getting it back.
Yeah. Oh, he almost just cuts it straight in, and
the cue ball scratch, and he was calling the side pocket, so he was offline by a little bit there. So the strategy of pushing out to a jump shot, I don't like because I thought the jump was easier before he pushed it out because if he would have jumped on the original shot, he wouldn't have had to go over the full ball. It was only the edge of the ball. But where he put it, he had to jump full ball, which just means more elevation, harder to control, harder to aim. And so I'm not sure about that decision. And maybe he wasn't intending to be completely hooked. I don't know, but it looked like that was the intent, was to push to that jump.
yeah. Cindy in the chat saying they can do the comeback, just got to tighten up a bit. They definitely ran 3 games in a row not too long ago, so they got an opportunity here to get another one up on the board. A little bit of pressure on this one because any mistake is the match, but they're looking like they're in a good position to get there from here. Needs
I was gonna say,
woo.
Close to disaster. You don't want to foul or anything at this point of the game, or even miss at this point of the match, because everything is on the line right now for David and Kyle, and that was not ideal. Can David hold this for the safety underneath the 10, or is it hit a thin piece of it and bring the cue ball back down to the other end of the table?
I like thinning it and just leaving the cue ball center table. Yeah,
Okay,
kind of like what he's doing right here.
Okay.
You might be able to go all the way down and around, but that speed, you're more likely to sell out the corner pocket.
Yep, he followed your advice there and not giving up anything.
Being up here, he may elect to go for the bank, but I think he's going to play safe. A little bit of inside check English.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, great shot there from Dylan. That inside English to check it and hold it behind the 10 was key. And that could have been the game winner right there. The match winner. That's what you're looking for at this stage, just looking for that match-winning shot, and that could have been it. And here we go.
Looking to go 2 rails.
Go 2 rails, that's ball in hand, and an easy 1-2-3 to close out the match. Yeah, I'd say that safety was the match winner.
Yep.
The dagger to the heart, the nail in the coffin. He did overrun this. He's on the wrong side of the 9. So it's not over yet. He's got to travel the cue ball 3 rails now to get back to the 10.
Dylan made us roll forward here because Martin's been coming with some nice shots, but he may try and get him a little bit better. Yeah.
Usually in Scotch doubles, you see them take the extra effort to get closer. You hardly ever see Scotch double partners leaving them longer because it's easier to do. You know, you almost always want to work harder for your partner to have a better shot. That's what I've noticed anyway with Scotch doubles. Players will try a little extra hard to get those leaves just that much better.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking the medicine, right?
Yeah, definitely. It happens a lot. And
there it is. Takes it down, Dylan and Martin over David and Kyle. They didn't need the 1 game of handicap, but they'll take it. And it's over 10-7. And they're discussing another set here, but I am going to cut out.